So today we're making a recipe called Cattledrive Casserole. We tried this about 2 weeks ago. I found it on a website, Who Needs a Cape, and we absolutely loved it. We're making a few changes to it today to fit our family a little bit better. But besides that, it's still pretty much her recipe. I'll leave all the information and the ingredients and everything down below for how we make it today. And we're just going to give it another shot. It was super good, so excited to have it again. Okay, so the base layer of our Cattledrive Casserole is going to be a bisquick mix. So I'm just spraying the pan. Now, I did struggle with spreading this out the other day. It's the first time I've ever used bisquick, but I feel like I struggled more than I should have. But we're remaking it, and we didn't have enough in this box to make the full recipe. So it's going to be slightly smaller than the crust size that we used before. But she recommends using 2 cups of this mix. We have about 1.5 cups left. So I'm only going to do 2/3 of a cup of water with this amount and see how that goes to start with. But she recommended 2 cups of mix and 3/4 of a cup of water, and even that may have been a little bit too much water. I hope not. There we go. It's more liquidy than it was the other day, but we're gonna spread it out and see how it does. So just sprayed the bottom of our pan. We're pouring our bisquick mix down into the bottom, and we're going to spread it out. And this will be our crust layer. So I'm going to spread it pretty thin because what I noticed the other day, and this is a little bit larger of a pan than what she called for, but what I noticed the other day is this stuff puffs up super big. So I think even though we don't have quite what she was calling for, I still think we'll be okay. Because the other day we had a lot of crust. Not that I minded it, it evened out really well. But I think we'll be fine, just like this also. Perfect. So while I stir this around for y'all, I'm going to insert the clip of the little video of us making this meat mixture. This is a pound of ground meat that I've ground up. We're going to add in a packet of taco seasoning or 1/4 cup if you have the big thing like I do. That was my little 1/8 cup measuring. So we're going to add some more. And that's if you have the big container. Ooh, excuse me, I'm knocking into you. Big container of taco seasoning. Then we're going to add in a can of rotel. Like I said, I'll link the original recipe down below. We made this last week and it was super yummy, so we're making it again. Just changing a few things up. Also going to add in 1/2 of a diced onion and about the equivalent of 1 bell pepper. I'm using my minis, so I'm just kind of guessing at what 1 bell pepper would look like. Here's our 1/2 cup of water. And then we're just going to let this simmer together while we make the crust and the top layer that's going to go on. Okay, now we're going to make our cream mixture that's going on top. It's a 1/2 cup of mayonnaise, 1/2 cup of sour cream, a can of green chilies, and some shredded cheese. So we're going to do our sour cream, our can of green chilies, and about 1/2 cup of shredded cheese. I always say more cheese, more better, so if you want a little bit more, feel free. But this is our cream mixture that we're going to spread across the top of this meat. And there you go. Our meat needs to simmer for about 10 minutes, so we have a few more minutes on this, and then it will be ready. It's just really softening these onions and peppers and things. So maybe another minute or 2. I'm going to turn that heat off while it's working on it. This is one of the changes that I made after we had it. So this again won't be in her recipe, but we're going to add some pinto beans that I've drained and washed. And just sprinkle them across. We had some ranch style beans on the side, and that was yummy, but the kids didn't really eat them with it, and I want a little more protein in it, so I figured I'd put them straight into the dish this time and see if they eat them a little bit better. They like beans, I guess they didn't want it on the side. Our meat mixture is all done. We're going to spread it over in the pan. Now this meal was very unassuming for me. I was like, I mean, hit or miss, it could be good, no big deal. Like there's nothing that seems really too special about it. And then we ate it and I couldn't stop coming back for more. So that was the kicker for me. That's what told me like this is something we need to write down and keep. So our meat mixture's down. I'm just going to make some dollops of the cream mixture across the top and spread it out. Oven is preheating to 350 if I didn't tell y'all that already. And we're going to sprinkle the top of this with even more cheese. We're using a Colby Jack. So just some Colby and Monterey Jack blend. That's a popular one around this house, but you can use cheddar, whatever you got. So I'm trying to empty out the fridge, y'all. Got to get it empty for the trip. Oven is ready and perfect timing. Okay, so this is going to go in the oven for about 30 minutes and dinner will be served. Okay, y'all, it's all done. It cooked again in that 30-minute time period. I do notice that we are missing that crust being a little bit thicker like it was last week whenever I made it. So if you have the 2 cups of the bisquick, use the full 2 cups and spread it along the bottom of the pan. It helps really hold this together, whereas you can see it's falling apart with me only having a cup and a half of the dough. You wouldn't think that half cup makes a big difference, but obviously it does. But it worked out perfectly. I love the beans in it. It's like a full meal, which is what a casserole should be. But we're going to add some corn to the side, sit down and have some dinner, and then we'll cut into our pie and see how it turned out. So we'll see y'all in a little bit when it's time for dessert.